crazy, ready to split for the good name. Stepped all in mud, this bitch can't wait to tie my shoelace. Ocean like girls, bet this money make a bitch so gay. Hold up. Wait. It's that
so I know what to do with it.
And that gas. That global high. Yeah. 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 I'm on one. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
My baby, my Valentine. Can I hit the Mickey with temperature days? If you leave me a good time, I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. I'm loving the thought of me. I am so obsessed. I want to chop your heart. Never did it back and it's real. Open up, make us feel. Yeah, my love, one thing. We make a bad man sing. But then I follow come, love is silicon. I got the finish work. Without you, I could feel lose my mind. Without you, I could feel fall and die. Without you, I could give up my life. Without you, never did it back and it's real. Open up, make us feel. Yeah, my love, one thing. We make a bad man sing. Another nigga, honey, lover, lover. I wanna be a lover forever, forever.
Pam. Now what else is this? Sad shit.
California.
Stop that shit, face, man. Cut that shit out. Don't start your bullshit.
A state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon. Now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining. Looking like I'm Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah. West Coast. That's right. It breaks my heart
They ain't believing us. We the best music. Play themselves.
They play themselves, motherfuckers.
We be over here embracing that love, more blessings, more life. God did.
God did. God did.
DJ Khaled.
Oh. Good morning, 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 good morning.
Time to say a prayer. Bow our heads.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Wake up. Everybody wake up. Wake up.
God is great. Nosedive, they just praying that I crash. But those guys, they don't want to see you last. That Jacob $3 million above your tax. A tub full of money, I still can't.
Just gotta check these comms.
Lord forgive me, I'm a sinner, conquer divide niggas. Wrong side of the petition, only divine winning. Better listen when I tell you how I put time in it. Please forgive me.
Lord did.
So leave me in the dark, swimming with the sharks. Dope boy, big calm, still the biggest boss. Got a kilo on the plate, send him on the freight. Or I could go and buy a bank, I know my money's safe.
We out of the south. Oh.
Sky is the limit every day I reach. They was tired of me winning, now they dead sleep. No one see me with the ring, you better play D. Nigga, God did his thing when he made me. With the eyes stacked against me, I could crack the bitch.
Cut the shit.
I know only God could judges, I say that but Britney. They smell blood like a shark, they start acting fishy. While I'ma have to act ass and they gon' have to kiss me. Please don't hate me just to hate me. Before they overrate me, they gon' underestimate me. Funeral and wake me, bury me and excavate me. But I'm so cultivating, everybody replicate me. Nigga face facts, dreadlocks, face tats, I'm the apex. I made the culture what I'm doing, never laid back. I fucked the world and what I did, I practiced safe sex. I prayed more and said less. God did the
You know what's funny? I'm on the same fucking account. Why is all my options different here than it is on my phone? Like the one I want to watch and talked about is on my phone. All right, let's refresh this. Please, I don't want to have to search this up. Really? Obviously, I'm here. Before this shit glocks me out of here.
With the corner office. I'm at the cap table. What the is. Not that cap table, boy, we live this. Breezy what the business is. We pushing 50 like fitting all. The shit is all legitimate.
The shit is all legitimate.
We just got his 10 back, then went back like where the interest is. M light up the 03. We let y'all do the Zazas. OG for the OGs. Some you niggas out of pocket talking exotic. You barely been it up behind. That's another topic. Monogram in my pocket off the red carpet. You see the face I made that night, shit is that shocking. Ours wasn't great, we even be alive. Gotta be crazy to y'all, nigga, we surprised. Shit is too much how we grew up. Shit don't even feel real to us. OG sold it, OG called Kingpin. The Doja drug laws and who are we then? Hove is a real nigga's dream. My only goal to make a real nigga feel seen. Sometimes I make a fake nigga hate life. Never my intentions, the consequences of my way of life. The way we used to play with life, I'm now careful with the sentences. Them only jail bars of life. I never wanted to be the state's custodian. The laws are draconian. With those married
Come on, boys. We getting into this. Oh yeah. Let me stop having ADHD. Yo, fuck COD. I should have kept that hashtag on there. Usually up at this time. All right. Oh, I'm so proud of you, face cam. You didn't do nothing dumb. Yo, why does Joe Budden want to talk to a person that killed Osama bin Laden? Nah, I really gotta look it up, huh? All right. Whole big, okay. Shout out to Hove. All right. Really? YouTube has no search results for Andrew Tate. No search suggestions. Logan Paul. This is what I want us to see, boys. Good morning.
Pay attention. Yeah. And Jake Paul
Let's
said,
be entertained.
I don't roll with Tate. I'd love to knock his ass out. He said something like that. Yeah. But then he said, but what I do support is, free speech. But then his brother said something else. His brother said, the shit that Andrew Tate says will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people that won't show for years from now, and it's dangerous. Now, this is what he said,
This
right?
is Logan Paul, you're saying?
But I want to say this before you comment on it. And then Junior.
Okay. I never really spoke about what Logan Paul said about that, but that's like the most stupidest shit. Everybody listen to me as I tell you this, right? This isn't me as a sage. This isn't me as some pretty smart guy. This is a person with common sense. Anything you do to anybody, anything, from getting up on TikTok to talking about TikTok, misogynistic things, to giving a kid a candy bar, will have an effect on them. I think it was Logan that said that. I think Logan was extremely dramatic for saying that. Real quick. I don't think he's a bitch, but I do think that was like the most, which I kind of get it, right? Like, like Logan's he's WWE, He's WWE. He's, he's not that raunchy dude anymore, And he's gotten fucking dragged through the courts of social media so fucking much, bro. Like, it's like I understand why he will say the things that he's saying now. It's just so annoying that he chose to say this now in a time where, like, none of this is important. Like, it was literally a clickbaity thing, I guess. But anyway, we're going to go back to that.
Supported you, Tucker supported you. I think the guys that like debate and comedians, people who appreciate humor, can understand that some of the stuff you're saying is funny as hell. You could be a comedian if you wanted to, but a person has to really pay attention to the comedy. But some can run with it, some cannot run with it. When you hear the people that support and don't support you, how do you process that?
So first things first, I want to make it very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely and utterly a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything, and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain it.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved it himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to
No money
fight Logan
needed.
Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says. Logan Paul is a man. If you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, whether it's Lil Nas twerking on the devil, whether it's this, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view that the whole Hollywood establishment want him to purport. He doesn't believe in the things he said. He's told what to say. And because he was canceled before and it emotionally destroyed him, he sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl instead of being a man about it. He is so fearful of the mob and so scared of being canceled again that he's going to sit there and say anything he's told. He doesn't believe that shit. Before I was canceled, him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was, tagging me on Instagram, inviting me places, etc. The second I'm canceled, they flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't want to get canceled too. They are children. That's all they are. So Logan Paul's a bitch. That's the first thing about Logan Paul. And what's actually been interesting about this whole cancellation thing is it hasn't negatively affected me in any serious way because I've been saying on podcasts for
Did the
years,
mic
I know
change or
cancellation
something?
is coming.
The fuck?
I knew it was
Hold
coming.
on.
I knew that as I got more popular and more powerful to a degree that it was going to come.
Was that me?
But what it has done is it has awoken the world. I know it canceled. They flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't think about this whole. The second I'm canceled, I've been saying on podcasts
All right, it's not
for
just
years,
me.
I know a cancellation is
It's this
coming.
shit.
I knew it was coming. I knew that as I got more popular and more powerful to a degree that it was going to come. But what it has done is it has awoken the
fuck was
world to
that?
anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention to learn which individuals out here in the social media space actually have character and believe what they say, and which are completely bought and sold and are tools to the matrix. The people who have decided to stand up for me and say, no, this is bullshit, are people who have, to some degree, credibility. You know, this is people who say what they truly believe. But the people who were totally a fan and then post-cancellation shit themselves in 180 and to get a new piece of paper to talk from, that should tell out the public out there exactly who's controlled and whether these people have a genuine narrative that they're trying to report on the world. And it's interesting. Logan's one of them, and there's a few others. But I'm glad it happened just for that alone, because it's actually very clear. If you go to Logan Paul's last podcast where he's discussing me, all of his fans, and we'll talk about fans and viewers in a minute because I think they're very different things. All of his fans, which he has none of, all of his viewers are sitting there insulting him, saying, bro, you're a fucking bitch. Like everyone, all of his own watchers are calling him names because it's so transparent and so obvious what he's doing.
Fans versus viewers.
Fans versus viewers, very different things. So he doesn't have any fans. He has viewers. And Susan and the Matrix and the people in charge of social media companies are like, okay, we've set our media machine. Let me ask
Fucking
you guys questions
Susan.
as professionals.
That
Let's
bitch.
assume, as professionals, let's assume what I'm saying is correct. Let's assume that the social media companies, when they banned me, set their media machine to all release thousands of news articles at the same time, trying to convince the world I'm an evil man. If they had that degree of power and influence, which I think we can all probably agree they do, don't you think they'd take their number one talking piece to the demographic, which is my fan, and give him a piece of paper and tell him what to say? Does that all make sense? Does that make sense to say, well, we told all the news to say Tate's bad, and all of his fans are 18 to 25-year-old men. Who do we have on YouTube who obeys us like a little cuck, who speaks to 18 to 25-year-old men? Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. He 180'd from a super fan.
So I forgot this guy's name, and I know I'm on his thing.
I've done 7.
No. Please tell me your fucking name.
You pay attention to
La 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 la. Talk about your podcast. Ask Tate to FaceTime. Minecraft app. What? Okay, the full interview.
When you have the youth scored,
they just said, we got to kind of cut this off.
Yep.
Milo Yiannopoulos got banned and
on the internet.
I'm never gonna.
TalkG.com.
I'm never gonna find this guy's name. Nope. Oh wait. Oh wait, it was on the name. I'm such an idiot. Uncensored interview with Patrick Pet David. That's his name.
You pay attention.
All right. So I know nothing. I know very little about this guy's podcast. All I do is watch clips, obviously. Right? As you guys see and know. Hold on. I hate this. We're fixing this right now. Oh, so much fucking better. Okay, so yeah, obviously I don't know this person. I just don't buy clips, but I do know that he talks to all controversial people. Not just controversial people, but he does talk to all of them. Like I remember he talked to Carlos Mencia. I remember he talked to fucking That's really all I remember at this moment. But he does talk to all the controversial people. And apparently he talks to Jordan Peterson and all this stuff. But he's very antagonizing. Like if you ever hear him, like even now, and he was like, you think a call like that was made? Like obviously that's what the fuck he's saying. Like, you know, like you think Logan Paul's a bitch. You will fight him for free. Yes. I just said that. Like, you don't have to, like, those things are like news reporter things. It's like Sharky like, you know? It's super annoying. I'm mad surprised on why Andrew Tate is on this. I'm assuming he thinks this guy's a high valued man. All right. Or both of them. I don't know who this other guy is. Again, I do not know this podcast whatsoever. What I do agree is that what Logan Paul says on Impulsive I don't even think just on Impulsive. What Logan Paul says from now to the end of his WWE career, I do believe it's scripted 100%. Undoubtedly. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. Like, yeah, he got this freedom because he was always the rebel of YouTube. Yeah, I don't think it's like what Andrew Tate is shitting on him about, you know? I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's that wild. I don't think it's that, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that dramatic. I don't think he's a bitching boy and stuff like that. I do think he signed a contract with Stephanie McMahon. I do think he signed a contract with the WWE. And I do think that WWE has them on, you're fit for kids. I think it's just like with Disney, right? Like Logan and Jake, they saw what happened when they did their shit with Disney, right? They lost their paycheck with Disney. They were really sad. But like he talked about him being sad on when he got canceled. He got really sad when they got out of Disney. Like that shit hurt them. Like that was a big check. Like that was big exclusivity that they had to the kids network. And now Logan's back in the kids network. He's back in the positive limelight. You know, he just did a crazy WrestleMania or SummerSlam battle that people say was like a WrestleMania event at the Garden. So it's pretty cool and insane. So, I mean, it's pretty not wild and insane to sit here and think, yeah, this guy doesn't want to break his contract, you know? Like, why haven't people asked Chris Evans about Andrew Tate? I mean, why haven't people asked Mark Ruffalo about Andrew Tate, the character who plays Guang Chi, the character who plays Wong? You know, these characters, the same exact thing. I think they're not allowed to sit here and comment on things. At the same time, Logan Paul, you guys can argue, yeah, he called him a bitch, all this other stuff, said he'll fuck him up, blah, blah, blah. I think that's WWE trash talk. Like, you know, like it's WWE like bullshit. Like it's nothing in the realms of I can hear Stone Cold Steve Austin saying that. I can hear The Rock saying that. I can hear The Rock saying worse. I can hear, you know, like it's just, I don't think it's that wild. I think this is something that
telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel. He sat on camera, say what they truly believe. But the people who were totally a fan and then post-cancel, Logan's one of them, and there's a few others. But I'm glad it happened just for that alone. His own watchers are calling him names because it's so transparent and so obvious what he's doing.
Fans versus viewers.
Well, Logan is not capable
You saying who you think he is.
25-year-old men. Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. He 180'd from a super fan.
I don't think a call like that was made. I think a call was made, if you fight Andrew Tate, you will get canceled. I think that was a call. I think that was, or let's not say just for Andrew Tate. If you fight Andrew Tate and lose, nah, I won't say that, because then that would be like that Logan is pussy, and I don't think I think the Paul brothers are real serious about boxing. I would say, yeah, the first one. If you fight this man, you will be canceled again. Like, you will be on, that's not, and that's another thing too. Like, Logan has to, he's on contract, he's basically a revolving carnival act, his body has to be at pristine conditions. He's not allowed to do other things, because if he gets injured, if something happens where he can't perform for Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or NXT or where the fuck he's at, because I don't watch that shit. But if he's not around for those things, then yeah, he would be, he would compromise the contract. Like, I don't see these things as how the media, as how these three people are trying to paint it as. I do think Logan Paul is a bitch. I do think Logan Paul is a bitch for not spinning that narrative. Like, whatever script, right? You're scripted, you gotta do this, you gotta be PC, whatever. We've seen, I guess, in the Paul Heyman days, right? Where we saw characters push the envelope a little bit, but still stay in character and PC and do all these other things. I would have loved for Logan to have that creative freedom, maybe, so that he could have been that, because this online thing could have been great. It could have been awesome, actually. It could have been one of the biggest things that could have built his Logan Paul's lore in the WWE career, Probably not going to, because, WWE with Stephanie is fucking piece of shit and childish and fucking a shame. But I could see it cool. Like, I know, like, again, if this was Vince in the 90s, in the Attitude Era, I swear to God, Andrew Tate would have already been in the ring. He would have already fought Logan Paul. They would have been getting ready for their second bout. They would have fought. Andrew Tate would have probably gotten canceled. That would have been added into the script of the story. And it would have been the best thing in WWE history. I promise you. Or at the time, WWF. WWF/WWE. Whatever. It would have been fucking awesome. All right? It would have been fucking great if Vince was fucking 5,000 years younger, wasn't popping steroids like it was fucking gummy bears, chucking down protein like it's fucking granola bars. You feel me? Like, it would have been great. But this is squandered. This is a squandered opportunity. I don't know why opportunities like this are tainted, but it is what it is. I don't think all this is crazy as what it is. Anyway, let's just hear what these bozos have to say.
To just talking about my rhetoric being dangerous, but in 24 hours.
There's a difference between you saying who you think he is versus you making the speculation that he got called by somebody to say, here's a narrative we want you to take, or else we'll silence you.
Well, Logan is not capable of independent thought. So if someone didn't give him the narrative, he didn't think it up himself. The dude's an empty vessel. He says what he is told to say. Somebody, somewhere, told Logan what to say and what stance to take. We can argue whether it was a social media company, whether it was his manager who was fearful,
right,
whether whatever. But somebody sat with Logan and said, look, Tate's getting a lot of smoke. You were cool with him. Your boyfriend Mike was cool with him. He's getting a lot of smoke right now. You're going to bitch out. And he sat there and said, yes, sir. Yes, I will. Because he has no character or no integrity. If it was all the other way around, let's imagine he was getting canceled. and I truly believed it was unfair, I'd sit there on my own platform and say, this is bullshit, because I'm not bought, sold, and owned.
But he did say it was bullshit. Again, I hate to defend people that I don't like. But against people I do like. But in Logan's defense, he did defend you. He did say that freedom of speech is freedom of speech, and what YouTube and the media companies have done is bullshit, 100%. Like he did say that, and yeah.
He's an owned individual. So he's always going to say what he is told to say. He's always going to sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth, because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought, and he has no character as a man. That's who Logan Paul is.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch the entire podcast, click over here. And if you want to be connected with experts, influencers such as Kiyosaki, Tate, Connolly, Paul Menteri, myself, and others, download the app Minect, where you get a chance to connect with these folks by the minute. You get to buy the minute or have FaceTimes with them, 15 minutes, ask them any questions you may want to have. Download the app Minect.
What the fuck? Yo! Let me tell you how these influencers are beating the fucking game, bro. Minutes at a time, bro. You get to FaceTime people, have conversations with them. I want to do that. I want to pay for minutes, and I want to talk to Andrew Tate, and it's going to be great. That's going to be fucking Minette. Jesus fucking Christ. Back to the list of things, people. Another thing I wanted to talk about the Samaritan. Oh my God, I saw that shit. I'll make a whole video about that shit. That fucking lies debunked. Charlamagne the God. Don't have time for that. Bobby Shmurda, 7 years.
Yo,
in
he got
prison.
locked up for 7 years at a young age.
I know.
My God, man.
I've been getting locked up since
And then we're gonna talk about Eddie Bravo.
And before that, I was in psych ward since I was 6. So they was always like trying to restrain me. I don't know a lot of
They
energy.
didn't give you Thorazine. You too young for the Thorazine.
No, my mom, you know what's crazy? I'm lucky because my mom's never, she West Indian, so they didn't believe in the medication. So they always try to put me on medication. And then my mom's like, don't give a, he's smart. He's just bad. He's just real bad.
Yeah,
He
they
don't
think
listen.
you-
Yeah, I told him,
they
I know what I
think
was doing. I know my
retarded.
consequences. I just didn't give a fuck.
No, listen. They
Like,
think
I
you-
was young. I knew my consequences.
They think
I
that
just
you
didn't give a fuck, but they
mentally
thought I was dumb.
They thought you were mentally unstable.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
one. That's a good one.
Understand that's so important in this society, right? This is why I picked this fucking video. Shout out to Bobby Shmurda. I do think he's kind of mooky at times. But at the end of the day, what he said is true. A lot of kids are just bad. They don't eat pills. And don't get me wrong. The government, the school, whoever the fuck you want to call them, they will give it to you. They will give it to you. It's not hard, bro. It's not hard. I worked in the school system. I've seen so many fucking parents that will sit there and fucking lie and be like, yo, my kid has ADHD. He needs this. He needs that. And them kids don't have fucking ADHD. Not even on the smallest spectrum. Like, not on the smallest scale, on the smallest nothing. They just, they want that. It's easier. It's been happening since the fucking 20s, bro. When they've been giving kids, they used to give kids LSD pills that you can take. They used to give the kids, and the kids would be fucking tripping as kids, sitting there, and then they'll be chill. Because you're fucking tripping. You're on trip overload, and your mom is out there relaxing. Oh, it's not yelling, But then that got banned. So then what happened? Now things had to be legit. Oh, my son needs this. My kid needs that. Blah, blah, blah. It's mad important. I shout out to Bobby Shmurda's mom. And she's honest. Like, yo, he's smart, bro. He's just bad. He's choosing these fucking things, man. And it takes parents to understand that. Because one, no kid is gonna be like Bobby Shmurda. A lot of kids are not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm just bad, bro. I don't want that shit. A lot of kids will take that little fucking get out of jail free card. Oh yeah, I need that. Yeah, I got problems. Yeah. And that's the finesse. You get on SSI, you get on that. Shout out to Bobby. Let's finish this out.
It was crazy because after I calmed down and they talk to me, they be like, oh my gosh, she's smart. But it's just like when I'm angry, I didn't know how to control myself at all when I was young.
That's what we have is anger. That's what we saw is anger, violence. That's all I saw. That's why I thought I used to be like, now you can't get me in an argument now. But before
When I first came home, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. When I first came home, I was scared. And then, no, before I came home, I said, before I come home, I was scared. I'm like, damn, how the fuck I'm gonna do this shit, bro? Like, damn, like, yo. And then after, I think the last year I had in jail, it proved to me that I could do it. Cause they gave me 2 extra months. And they told me, they're like, yo, we gonna give you an extra year. Fuck. I caught a new charge.
You're fucking up, huh?
They're like, yo, you do anything, we gonna give you an extra year.
Was it easy for you? Because you went in from like the knot.
Oh, when I came in, it was kind of easy for me.
Because you had no crew in there. Everybody knew you from Brooklyn.
No, I ain't had no crew. You know what's crazy? My crew was always older than me. So when we got locked up, they always went to Rikers Island.
Me
And
too.
my ass was a juvenile.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. My friends always, I'm gonna be on that.
I'm trying to lie and say I'm older to go with them. I'm like, I'm 16.
No, I didn't want to go with
They're
them.
like, you 12, you better get your ass.
I didn't want to go with them. No, listen, if you went with them, your hot ass be handcuffed to a fucking wooden bench. Yes, you do. When you go to Sparford, you get cookies and milk, nigga.
You know what's crazy? I was so young, though. I was ignorant. I was like, I don't want no damn cookies and milk. I want a split, man.
I wish I was locked up.
I would have said, Shorty, what you want for that? I said, what you want for that?
Y'all make me wish I was locked up.
Oh, nigga.
Hell no.
I'm pussy, man.
Hell no. Hell no.
If you go in there and you're a guy, like sometimes people come from another country and get fucked up.
Damn, that's how you end that, Mike? Jesus Christ, bro. That's how you end that clip, bro. Yo, they get fucked up. Yeah. Hell yeah. The dismissal of overpopulation. This is from what Elon Musk said, not Eddie Bravo. I know people hate Eddie Bravo. Elon Musk has a thing of how he doesn't think overpopulation is a thing. And we're going to talk about that. I just want to hear what Eddie Bravo and them have to say.
Joe Rogan experience.
What do you think about Elon Musk saying that overpopulation is a myth and it's actually the opposite? What do you think about that?
Well, it is the opposite in places where the developed world exists, like in big cities. People having less children.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys in their 40s. They're not even close to being married, no kids. They're not going to have kids. That's happening.
It's going to be me, baby.
So it's lifestyle choices for sure that happen when people live in big cities and they concentrate on their career. It also happens when in these
most people are in the big cities, though.
Right, and where women aren't oppressed. Where women aren't oppressed and they can pursue careers. They pursue careers. They put off childbirth. It's like that's the theme of Idiocracy. Remember Idiocracy, that movie?
I didn't see it. I hear about it all the time.
Until recently, it's fucking
I gotta
hilarious.
go back. It's
Bro,
Mike Judge, right?
Yes,
I love Mike Judge, man.
Really fucking
the new
funny.
Beavis and Butthead movie, better than ever.
Really, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
The new Beavis and Butthead, it's like 2 months old. So good.
I had Mike Judge in here a couple months ago.
Dude, they go to space, dude. Beavis and Butthead go to fucking. Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
So the premise of Idiocracy is there's this really smart couple, and they keep putting it off. Keep putting off having kids, and at the same time you're showing this dude who lives in a trailer park. He's fucking all these chicks near him. He knocks up her, and she's chasing him with a frying pan because she found out he knocked up her too, and it's wild.
Yeah,
and it's just like it just shows how people are just getting dumber and dumber. The dumber people are overpopulating. The smart people aren't having any children.
Like your bit.
Yeah, like the bit from 2005. So that's really what it is. I mean, this is exactly what Elon is saying.
Yeah,
is that in these cities there is a depopulation problem. Then there's also another problem. Dr. Shanna Swan, we had her on the podcast. She wrote a book called Countdown, and it's all about phthalates and how phthalates are getting into people's blood supplies from plastics and how it's directly affecting our reproductive systems. It's making men's dicks smaller and balls smaller and taints smaller. And the way they identify mammals, males or females, is the male's taint is 50 to 100% larger. And the introduction of phthalates, they know these from studies, when you introduce phthalates into the blood supply of these creatures, like mice and rodents and shit like that, all of their taints shrink. And that's exactly what's happening to people. and we have phthalates in our blood. So they do these blood tests on people, and they find all these microplastics and all this residue from petrochemical products. And if you look at when petrochemical products were introduced and plastics were introduced in America, and then look at sperm counts, look at miscarriage rates, look at dick sizes, all that stuff, testicle sizes, is all shrinking.
I'll skip that part.
All shrinking.
Hey, if a girl
shrinking.
licks your taint, does she get credit for eating man ass?
It's pretty close. She's in the neighborhood. You know, it's like your Beverly Hills
Is
adjacent.
that? Does she get credit?
I think she does.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, what?
It's a risky.
All right, as I watch this, as I'm drinking my plastic bottle, as I'm learning that there's a chemical in plastic that's affecting our fucking body. Okay.
So the whole, remember, I don't know if you remember, but I brought this up on the podcast before, and I don't know if it's true. I hear it. No, we didn't have a debunking website or whatever, but saying that the entire population of the world, whatever it is, 7 billion or something, can all fit in Texas or Alaska in their own house. Remember that?
I think if you stuffed everybody together like a favela.
Totally. No, totally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It would have to be that way, right?
And then the rest of it's farmland.
But even if it wasn't Texas, it had
The
to be
rest-
the whole
the rest of it's
like, it
farm.
could fit the whole population
of the world.
In the United States. They're
Right.
saying you could fit them in Texas or Alaska. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Nobody's debunked that. And I don't know.
No,
but,
they probably could fit them physically. The problem is where are you
no,
going to get all
I'm
the
not
food?
saying. I'm not saying. Hey, let's all move them to Alaska. This is just all.
Oh, here it is. Standing shoulder to shoulder, the entire world's population can fit within 500 square miles
of Los Angeles.
Of Los Angeles.
What? Okay, so
Shoulder
think
to
about that.
shoulder.
So if that's true, so it must be true, right?
Right.
If that's true, even if let's just say that's off, and
That's only
it's
LA.
the whole United States. I know it's only LA, right? If that's true,
okay,
there ain't nobody on this motherfucker, dude. That would mean if we got everybody in Alaska or everybody in Texas and the whole world was empty,
Right.
all of South America,
Okay.
Asia, Russia, to me, that means this overpopulation bullshit is a fucking myth, man.
But wait
That's
a minute,
myth.
that doesn't make any sense because what they're saying in this Los Angeles thing is people stand shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I'm
You
just
can't
saying if
live
that's
like
true, if that's no, I'm not saying to live that way. I'm just saying if you can do that, if you could fit the whole population
Then
just
you
by
think
size,
there's plenty of room for everybody.
dude.
Right.
Back when I first started flying and teaching seminars all over the world, I would always just look out the plane and go, all I see is just nobody. I see a city way over there, and go, it's empty. I go, we should all have a plot of land. That's what I'd be thinking. I go, there's so much wasteland. When you fly across the United States, dude, there's only people in LA, New York, Miami, and San Francisco. Everything else is empty, dude. You're on a plane, there's nobody. There's nobody here. So I don't want to. So when people talk about climate change, well, we're causing climate change or overpopulation, and then you got Elon Musk saying that's the one thing. I'm like, damn, Elon Musk is saying that. He's saying that overpopulation is a myth. It's actually the reverse. I'm like, whoa. So I don't want to hear anything about over fucking population. Oh, it seems overpopulated when you're in a city and you're living in a favela and they got you all crammed into a city, super smart cities and all that shit. Yeah, it's overpopulated, but the rest of the world's empty.
Yeah, so no, so no, so I don't think it's, so I don't think it's BS, you know? I don't think what Eddie Bravo is saying is dumb, you know? Like, again, like, if you could fit everybody in, if you could fit everybody in LA, let's break it down, which I don't know why he didn't bring this up. Maybe people don't really know this. But, if you can fit everybody in LA, right? And that's just LA, right? That's LA, right? Let's take it out of the United States. You can fit the whole. I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that you can fit the whole fucking world, like all its landmass, in Africa. Like Africa fits the whole world. Like Africa's that big. Like people, like United States is so racist that we make Africa look really fucking small. Africa is fucking huge. It's fucking gigantic, right? So if you put everybody in Africa, right, give them land, give them a own little plot, then we have way more than just shoulder room space, right? Probably a couple of feet they can walk, right? So then, like, that gives them a lot more space, a lot more room, a lot more everything, right? So it makes the world look pretty small, and overpopulation not really a thing. But what I think Joe is going to talk about is more of the food source, saying, like, you know, which is like a thing, but that's not what the world's saying. You know, the world's talking about carbon footprints, you know, we got to start doing this and that, you know, which again is a bunch of bullshit. You know, we talk about all these cars that are in the fucking street, right? But I think it's like fucking 300 cars or like, I don't know, like 3,000 cars, like driving all day, every day can add up to one steam engine, one train moving, you know, across country, or one fucking, that's nothing compared to the nuclear power, I mean, to the fucking power plants or the fucking steam boats, or none of these things that are making bigger carbon footprints that we don't need to do, right? But yes, please, my little Honda Civic that's from 1997 that barely makes it up the block, oh yeah, definitely has the biggest carbon footprint in the fucking world. I remember when we was kids, they used to tell us spraying the Lysol, like air freshener things. This shit, right? They used to say you spray this. When I was a kid, this was killing the ozone layer. This hairspray, Lysol, things like this was killing the ozone layer. This was shedding. This was like samurai katanas cutting through the fucking ozone layer like fucking torpedoes or something. That's what scientists told us. You know, believe the science, right? I swear to God, bro. I wish Dan was here. He'd be fucking laughing. This fucking craziness. But, you know, like, but when it comes to food, you know, there probably isn't enough animals to feed 7 billion people that are fat and selfish, that want to fucking eat whatever they want. Like today, bro, I had fucking mozzarella sticks, a cheeseburger, and fries. Why? Because I live in fucking America and I fucking can. The fuck? Like, I don't have to obey by the fucking regiments, you know? Fuck out of here. I do what the fuck I want, you know? So that's the big ass problem. I can't be doing that if we're all living in Africa, you know, trying to make sure that we're populated correctly, making sure we're not doing nothing wrong, you know? Things have to change. But let's finish the video.
It's fucking empty.
Well, there's a lot of people that you have to feed. That's the problem. The problem is not just.
I swear,
the
I was on
number of
cue.
people. The problem is the resources.
Do you believe cow farts are melting icebergs?
Cow farts are not the problem. It's actually burps.
Dude,
it's
that's
methane.
hilarious.
It's methane. But it's just. But there's also ways that they use regenerative farming, so it's carbon neutral. You know, there's people that have like discussed regenerative farming. The only problem is like scaling it for millions and millions of people. But it's just a natural product of animals eating grass. They do know that happens.
Dude, you know how bad those farts gotta stink
Do you
for
ever
them
go
to
near-
melt icebergs?
No, it's not that it's melting icebergs. It's just releasing methane.
That's what climate change. It's all about melting icebergs, rising sea levels.
yeah.
It's all about the icebergs.
But it definitely.
Polar bears.
It definitely.
That's what I saw in the documentary that one time that told me by 2010, it said in 10 years, so in 2020, Florida, where I live now, was going to be underwater. California completely submerged. Florida completely submerged. The city of Manhattan was going to be 40% submerged. Yeah, because I like everything he's saying is exactly what the media is telling us. Like people are probably thinking like, oh, Eddie Brown was so dumb. I can't believe that's anything. He's not saying that. He's saying this is what you guys told us. Cow farts. You know, the methane from this is the shit that's bullshit too. So because of cows burping, right, methane gets released, and through that and from that methane, it builds up so much that causes ozone holes in the little hole pockets in the ozone layer that sun rays can seep through and melt icebergs. That's what they're saying. Not talking like, again, let's break it down, right? So let's talk about when it was just animals doing this, right? And it was like fucking floored with crazy amounts of animals that ruled this fucking world. They weren't burping methane, bro. Like, our cows just started doing this. It's our cow thing. I just want to know, like, is it like it's so weird how this thing is like, and I'm glad that they figured an easy solution for it, right? They just got to scale it for millions of people, which it shouldn't have to be a thing. Make it a law. People will have to do it. I don't understand. You guys do it with vape pops and cigarettes and weed and all this other shit. Make it mad simple. What the fuck? Are you guys really afraid of the Farmers Association? Jesus.
Contributes to the gases. Do you know, have you ever gone to like one of those places that just grow cows?
No.
My parents used to live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I used to have to drive through farmland. Bro, it smells so bad. It smells so bad.
Oh, yeah. If that's what you're talking about.
I've driven through farmland before. You could smell the cow shit.
No. It's not just cow shit. Where they raise cattle.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
like
it smells
millions
like,
and millions of
cows. I
would never believe cow farts are causing climate change. There's no way anybody's going to believe that. Or their burps. The burps or the fart.
It's contributing to the gases that are in the environment. What Dan Pena's saying and what Steve Koonin is saying more specifically is that we're talking about a negligible in comparison to all these other effects.
I want to see a documentary on how they found out cow farts are burning a hole in the ozone layer.
It's really burps. It's just methane, man. But I'm telling you, these carbon neutral farmers, these people that use regenerative farming, they take the manure and they put it back into the soil, and that's what they use for fertilizer, and everything is organic. And they're saying if you do it, that's the way animals and the environment are supposed to interact. What we've done that's so fucked is factory farming. And we've taken all these animals and shoved them into these places and made these toxic waste lakes of animal waste. Have you seen those? They fly a drone over these factory farming setups that they have for pigs. Like, dude, if everybody wants sausage and everybody wants bacon, you need a lot of fucking pigs. A lot of pigs. And it's horrific. What they have to do to raise pigs in an economical way so you can get cheap bacon is pretty fucked. That's real. And that is 100% contributing to the amount of methane that gets released and gases that get released. Because if you go anywhere near those places, they're fucking terrible toxic. They smell awful, man. Like, that shit's... If you live in that city and they open up like some sort of a factory farming setup right outside of town, guess what? Your city's ruined. You're going to smell that shit. You're going to smell, and you're going to get used to the smell, unfortunately, because olfactory senses detect changes in smells. That's why people stink. They don't smell themselves. Because otherwise, be like, oh my God, I smell. I got to get the fuck out of here. You detect changes in smell. So if you live in a place that stinks, like some parts of New Jersey when they were like really polluted, they have factories out there. The people that lived there didn't even know it stunk. People had to come visit them and go, what the fuck are you living? Where are you living, man? You know how bad it smells here? It smells normal.
God, facts.
Because they're used to it. They get accustomed to it. That 100% is contributing to pollution. So whether it's factory farming or whether it's factories, all the different things that people do that we enjoy. If you want electricity, something's got to burn. Like, how do you do it? Do you use coal? What do you do? Unless you're going to do nuclear, you're going to have some negative effect.
Yo, what's up with all these clips ending in such weird ass times? Like, oh my God, ending like a end note, like a dead silence. Joe Rogan has it all the fucking time. Jesus Christ. What are we at, that end mark? Great. We are. Perfect time. All right, boys. So here we are at that end marker. Yeah, this was kind of fun. This isn't going to be saved. It's going to be kind of live because I like to put the music out there. And now I learned my whole little thing on how this shit works. So enjoy that, everybody. Peace.
They say they don't know me internationally, niggas on the road, dead. I see a lot of Hov and gigs. Me and me can never beef. I freed that nigga from a whole bid. Hov did.